Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 5, Chapter 20, Text 5. Pratnasya Vishnu Rupam Yad Satyasya Tasya Bhamana Amritasya Cha Mrityuscha Suryam Atmana Dhimahi. Pratnasya, the oldest person. Of the oldest person. Vishnu, Lord Vishnu, Rupam, the form, yet, which, Satyasya, the absolute truth, of the absolute truth, Hitasya, of Dharma, Brahmana, of the Supreme Brahman, Amritasya, of the auspicious result, Cha, and Mrityu, of death, the inauspicious result, Cha, and Surya, the demigod Surya, Atmanam, the super soul or origin of all souls. Imahi, he approached Shabda. Iti, thus. Translation purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki. This is the mantra by which the inhabitants of Lakshadweepa worship the Supreme Lord. Let us take shelter of the Sun God, who is the reflection of Lord Vishnu, the all-expanding Supreme Personality Godhead, the oldest of all persons. Vishnu is the only worshipable Lord. He is the Vedas. He is reason, and he is the origin of all auspicious and inauspicious results. Please repeat. This is the mantra by which the inhabitants of Lakshadweepa worship the Supreme Lord. Let us take shelter of the Sun God, who is a reflection of Lord Vishnu, an all-expanding Supreme Personality of Godhead, the oldest of all persons. Vishnu is the only worshipable Lord. He is the Vedas. He is religion, and he is the origin of all auspicious and inauspicious results. Purport. Lord Vishnu is even the supreme Lord of death, as confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita, Mrityu Sarva Anishchaham. There are two kinds of activity, auspicious and inauspicious. Both are controlled by Lord Vishnu. Inauspicious activities are said to be behind Lord Vishnu, whereas auspicious activities stand before him. The auspicious and inauspicious exist throughout the entire world, and Lord Vishnu is the controller of them both. In regard to this verse, Srila Madhavacharya says, Surya Jumati Varisha Vidhatrusu Yata Kramam Lakshadi Dvipas Samastav Stitam Harim Upasate. There are many lands, fields, mountains, and ocean throughout the creation, and everywhere the Supreme Personality Body is worshipped by his different name. Srila Veera Raghava Acharya.
Even this mic also not detecting. Wide also. It was shaking. Then only. See? Right?
Hare Krishna.
Better. Can you hear?
Hare Krishna.
Speak.
Srila Veeraraghava Acharya explains this verse, Srimad Bhagavatam, as follows. The original cause of the cosmic manifestation must be the oldest person and must therefore be beyond material transformation. He is the enjoyer of all auspicious activities and the cause of conditioned life and also liberation. The demigod Surya, who is categorized as a very powerful jiva or living entity, is a representation of the part of his body. We are naturally subordinate to powerful living entities, and therefore we can worship the various demigods as living beings who are as powerful representatives of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Although the worship of the Sun God is recommended in this mantra, he is worshipped not as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but as his powerful representative. This is Katha Upanishad 1.3.1. Ritam Vibhanto Sukritasya Loke Guham Pravistau Prame परमे परात्मे तयात् तयादोपौ ब्रह्मविद्दो वदन्ति पंचा पंचाग्नेयो ये चात्रि नाचिकेतः. O Nachiketa, the expansions of Lord Vishnu as the tiny living entity and the super soul are both situated within the cave of the heart of this body. Having entered that cavity, the living entity resting on the chief of life as enjoys the results of activities, and the supreme and the super soul acting as witness enables him to enjoy them. Those who are well versed in knowledge of Brahman and those householders who carefully follow the Vedic regulations say that the difference between the two is like the difference between the shadow and the sun. In the Sutras Upanishad 16, it is said, Savishvakrit Vishwaviddhat Mayoni Jnana Kalakaro Muni Sarvavidya Pradhan Kshetrakya Patir Gunesha Samsara Moksha Sthiti Anda Hetu. The Supreme Lord, the creator of this cosmic manifestation, knows every nook and corner of his creation. Although he is the cause of creation, there is no cause for his appearance. He is fully aware of everything. He is the super soul, the master of all transcendental qualities, and he is the master of this cosmic manifestation in regard to the bondage of the conditioned state of material existence, the liberation from that bondage. Similarly, in the Upanishad, we say, Vishmatmata Bhavate Vishnu the Surya Vishasmat Agni Chandrascha Mrityur Davati Panchama. It is out of fear of the Supreme Brahman that the wind is blowing, out of fear of him. The sun regularly rises and sets, and out of fear of him the fire acts. It is only due to fear of him that Death and Indra, the king of heaven, perform their respective duties. As described in this chapter, the inhabitants of the five islands beginning with Lakshadvipa worship the sun god, the moon god, the fire god, the air god and Lord Rama, respectively. Although they engage in worship of these five demigods, however, they actually worship Lord Vishnu, the super soul of all living entities, as indicated in this verse by the words of Pratnasya Vishnu Rupam. Vishnu is Brahma, Amrita Mrityu, the supreme Brahman, and the origin of everything, auspicious and inauspicious, is situated in the heart of everyone, including all demigods. Stated in the Bhagavad Gita, those who smile are distorted by material desires surrender to demigods. People who almost blind of lusty desires are recommended to worship the demigods to have their material desires fulfilled. But actually, those desires are not fulfilled by the material demigods. Whatever the demigods do is done in the function of Lord Vishnu. People who are too lusty worship various demigods instead of worshipping Lord Vishnu, the super soul of all living entities. But ultimately, it is Lord Vishnu they worship because he is the super soul of all demigods. मम ज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकाय चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै
श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति
वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरुं श्रीतावनमनं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं सारनाथं सारनाथं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादां श्रीविद्यामामितांश्च हे कृष्णकरुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्तनमोऽस्तुते तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे चिन्तामणीश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये पञ्चाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्यश्च पतितानं पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णकृष्णाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते गौरवाणी निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण. So we'll read the translation again. This is the mantra by which inhabitants of Lakshadweepa worship the Supreme Lord. Let us take shelter of the Sun God, who is the reflection of Lord Vishnu, the all-expanding. Personality of Godhead, the oldest of all persons. Vishnu is the only worshipable Lord. He is the Vedas, he is religion, and he is the origin of all auspicious and inauspicious activities. So now we are in the 5th canto, 20th chapter. So we are now focusing on Lakshadweepa, so one of the islands. We are in Jambudvipa. So all the prayers of the various residents of Jambudvipa has been covered. So now we are going to Lakshadweepa. So in the Lakshadweepa, what is happening is there is the worship of the sun god, right? Surya Dev. Of course, sun god himself has many names, right? Ravi, Bhaskara, right? In fact, my birth name was also Surya. Yeah. So the thing about Indian culture is they name the children after all this, either the name of the lords or the demigods. You know, but nowadays they are giving all crazy names to the children, right? Something like Ripu, Rino, Ritu, anyhow names they are actually giving their children, which has no meaning. But by right, the names of the child is meant to help us remember something related to the Lord. Just like Ajamil, he named his child Narayana. And because he was somehow attached to the child, he chanted the name of Narayan and he did Namabas, indirect chanting of the holy name of the Lord. So what happens if you can chant the name of the Lord with attention, with proper understanding, right? If you understand Ajamil's life, there are 4 things, right? He did. One thing was he chanted inattentively. So what if you can chant attentively? He chanted at the moment of death. What if you chant when you are living? He chanted during old age. What if you chant when you are young? And he chanted when he was full of sin. What if you chant without sin? See, so I mean, basically, why am I saying this is you can see the names, the nama of the Lord is very important, very powerful, right? And not only nama tattva, but we have to understand the tattva behind. See, these 5 things are there. Actually 6 things in the CC is mentioned. F2. What is it? What was the rest? With 265. Yes, Krishna Tattva, Bhakti Tattva, Prema Tattva, Savara, Bhava Tattva, Rasa Tattva, Leela Tattva, Ara. Krishna conscious means. So what is Krishna conscious? You know, we always say, oh, Krishna conscious, we are Krishna conscious. But actually, Krishna conscious is understanding these truths. What are the truths? It means understanding this truth of Krishna, that is Krishna Tattva. The truth of devotional service, Bhakti Tattva. The truth of love of Godhead, Prema Tattva. The truth of emotional ecstasy, Bhava Tattva. These all Bhakti Rasa Mritu Sindhu covers all this. Prema Tattva, Bhakti Tattva, Bhava Tattva, the Sandarbhas, Srila Prabhupada books, all are aimed to cover these 5 topics. Actually, no, 6 topics, right? The truth of transcendental mellow, Rasa Tattva, and the truth of the pastimes of the Lord, Leela Tattva. Unless we understand all these 5 tattvas, is it 5 or 6? I think 6 tattvas. Yeah, 6 tattvas. Then we cannot say that we are actually really Krishna conscious. Of course, understanding is one thing, and also acting by the understanding, the actions. Yes. So we have to understand now. So even though the devotees of Lakshadvipa were worshipping the sun god, right? It is not that they were worshipping him as a separate deity, separate identity. They understood the tattva. They were Krishna conscious. They understood that the person who is empowering the sun god was the Supreme Lord Vishnu. They understand the cause of all causes. What is happening now is we are only understanding the cause of something. We are very attached to the reflection. For example, just like the sun god is a very powerful reflection of the Supreme Lord's light, right? He reflects the rays of Krishna. Similarly, we are also a reflection of the Lord. We are all small. We are all jivatmas, part and parcel, right? Nityo Nityanam, Chetanas Chetananam. He is the Supreme Nitya, and we are also Nitya, but we are the minute. Ekohe Bhavanam Vidadikam. And all the desires of all the Nityas is fulfilled by this Supreme Nitya, Supreme Lord Krishna, right? So we are actually part of him, and we are also a reflection of him. For example, if you see the mirror, right, you see the reflection of yourself. So for example, each of us have a different skill or talent. Somebody is beautiful, somebody is very strong, somebody is very intelligent. All these are reflection of his 6 opulences. Aishwaryasya, Samagrasya, Veerasya, Yashasya, Shriya. Beauty, knowledge, strength, wisdom, renunciation, fame. These are the 6 qualities Krishna has in full. All of us have a part of this, and we are reflecting a part of these qualities. So actually, when somebody shows great talent, ability, Krishna says, Paurusham Nrishu, I am the ability in man. So somebody shows great talent and intelligence or beauty or strength or renunciation, everything is a reflection of the Lord. Correct. So if you are showing for example, if you are having a lot of talent, ability, I'm attracted to you. I'm not attracted to the reflection of you in the mirror, right? Correct. Similarly, if what we are doing right now is we are supposed to be attracted to the reflection, the origin of the reflection, which is Krishna. Krishna is reflecting himself through us in a small way. So, but we forget about Krishna and we get attracted to the reflection, to that person. We get attached to the material body of that person. But by right, we should see the reflection which is being reflected by the Lord in that person. Then, if you can do that, then you will not feel any enviousness, jealousy, right? You will not get envious. Oh, this devotee is doing better than me in singing or classes or whatever. You will see that Krishna is empowering this person. I should be glorifying the Lord, empowering him. I should glorify the devotee because he is getting the empowerment of the spiritual master. But if we are just attached to the reflection, then we are trapped. We will be trapped in the reflection only. Correct. So similarly, if we can understand this from our point of view, we should understand this also to the residents of Lakshadweep, because now they are seeing a greater personality than us, the sun god, Surya Dev, right? And they are understanding that he is also reflecting the great qualities of the Supreme Lord. So if you see this verse, Krishna also says in the Gita, people misunderstand this kind of verses. He says, why is it? Very famous verse of Bhagavad Gita. Yasoham apsu kaunteya prabhasmi sasi suryayo pranava sarvadedesu shabda ke paurasham nirshu. So Krishna says, he also confirms here, O son of Kunti, I am the taste of water, the light of the sun and the moon. So this light of the sun and the moon is the reflection of the Lord. It is actually the eyes of the Lord. Chandra Suryakni Netram. Right? The syllable Om in the Vedic mantras, and I am the sound of ether and ability in man. So just now we were speaking about this. Paurasham Nishu, the ability in man is also a reflection. So if I see great ability in someone, why is there a need to be jealous? Right? Jealousy will come because when I don't understand who is the cause of that ability. If I do not know the source of that ability, then I will be jealous. But if I know everything is connected, if I know, you see, that just the previous verse, Krishna says, Mata Parataram Nanya, Kinchidasti Dhananjaya, Mani Sarvamidam Proktam Sutre, Mani Ghana Iva. If I understand, O conqueror of wealth, there is no truth superior to me. If I understand there is only one truth, you must understand. Mata Parataram Nanya. There is no different truths. Truth is one. Cannot be my truth. There are people who are saying, see, there is two gender only, male and female. But there are some people saying in male body saying they are female, and some people in female body saying they are male, and they say this is the truth according to me. But that doesn't work. In reality, you are born as a male means you are a male. You are born as a female. You may change. You may go through many surgeries to change all your composition of your body. But originally, you are born in the male body, right? So you may try to manipulate the truth, and this is very famous among the lefties. The left wing people, they like to manipulate the truth and present it as feelings. This is how I feel about the truth, and this is how they are telling this to the children in school. Can you believe it? They are telling the child, you are a girl, right? You feel like a boy? Okay, now you take this injection, destroy your body. All the children will die very early because of manipulating the hormones in their body. So similarly, truth means one. The absolute truth is one. Vadanti tattva vidas tattvam yajnanam advayam. Advayam means one. That one tattva has come in three features. So tattva is only one, but he is experienced by the jnanis as Brahman, the yogis as Paramatma, and the devotees as Bhagavan. Right? So when you analyze all the scriptures scrutinizingly, and if you take the version of Srila Vyasadeva himself, if you take the understanding of the person who wrote all these books, Vyasadeva, he says, Krishnas to Bhagavan Swayam. Ete chamsa kalabhamsa Krishnas to Bhagavan Swayam. So the absolute truth is none other than that Krishna. And now Krishna says, again Krishna confirms here that there is no truth superior to me. Mata Parataram Nanyat. He's telling that he's not being proud. People say Krishna is very egoistically and proudly praising himself. No, he's speaking the truth. If your father says, I am your father, any problem in that? If Krishna, instead of going around finding out who's my father, if my father himself say, I am your father, the job is done, right? So this is not pride or ego. Krishna is speaking the truth. And same time, in that same verse, Krishna is showing humility. He's saying, even though I am the absolute truth and everything rests upon me, Mahi Sarvam Idam Proktam, Sutre Mani Ganaiva. He says, you are all like pearls. Right? He's giving credit to all Jiva Atmas that you are pearls. Yeah. He said, I am the string. I'm actually holding all of you all together. Which means all Jivatmas are connected to each other. All of us are interconnected. We are not separate. Because we are having this common connection, who is the Supreme Lord Krishna. And when you do not understand this common connection, then all this killing, hatred, competition, this chaos that we see in this world is because we do not know who is the common source, the common father who is connecting all of us. So Krishna is taking the back seat here. First he says, I am so great. I'm absolute truth, but I am behind everything, right? You see the beautiful decoration we see in that altar, right? Especially Sunday. But actually, everything is hung nicely by this string. You cannot see the string actually. But whoever doing the dressing, we are using so many strings to tie it. But people say, wow, what is this? So nice. But actually, the string that holding everything behind, that is the Lord, Supreme Lord. The cause, Sarva Karana Karana. Right? So, this is why we are different from the people of Lakshadweep, because we fail to see this common connection. Basically, we lack common sense. You know what is common sense meaning? Many times people say, you don't have common sense. Right? But really, common sense means you do not know who is the common connection behind everyone, which is Krishna. That is real common sense. If you know that Krishna is the Supreme Lord, the cause of all causes, why it says like that? You see, if you see this verse in 15:19, you see, Yo mam eva asamudho jnanati purushotamam sa sarvavid bhajanti mam sa sarva bhavena bharata. Whoever knows me as the Supreme Personality Godhead without doubting is the knower of everything. He therefore engages himself in the full devotional service of me, O son of Bharat. So why it says like that? If you know Krishna, you know everything. Then somebody will say, you never went to school, you never studied. How you can say you know everything? Huh? You know everything because you know the cause behind everything. You know, in the Chandogya Upanishad, there is a story of Swetaketu and his father, Uddalaka. Uddalaka and Swetaketu. Swetaketu, the son. He goes to Gurukul for 12 years, right? For 12 years, and then he comes out very nicely. And then the father asks him, my dear son, have you studied? Let me test your knowledge. So the father actually speaks this verse. He says, Yena shrutam ashrutam bhavati atmanam matam avijnanantam vijnantam iti katam nu bhagava sa adesho bhavatiti. He says, have you heard? Do you know? He's testing his knowledge. Do you know something that if you have heard these things, yena shrutam ashrutam, everything is heard. Huh? Atmanam matam. If you seen this thing, everything is seen. Okay. If you perceive this thing, everything is perceived. If you know this thing, did you learn about this thing? That common thing. By seeing one thing, everything is seen. By hearing one thing, everything is heard. But perceiving one thing, everything is perceived. Do you know that one thing? Of course, because it's Upanishad, it speaks mostly about the knowledge of Brahman. We know that Brahman is none other than the effulgence of the Supreme Lord Krishna. Brahmano hi pratishta aham. So this question the father is asking the son. Then he becomes stunned. I never heard this. My teacher never told me this. How come? Then the father starts to teach him the knowledge of Brahman. For example, if somebody knows this is somebody is wearing gold bracelet, somebody is wearing gold chain, somebody is wearing gold nose ring, somebody gold earring. So you may be expert in one gold earring, you may be expert in one gold chain. This is what happening in material education. They are expert in one thing, one department of material knowledge. But if somebody knows the element which produces this gold chain, gold nose ring, he knows the material behind this gold. I mean this chain, this jewel. Then he knows everything, right, about gold. Correct. If you see the furniture also, now we have this altar here, beautiful altar. We have this table here. We have this photo frame. We have this cupboard. Somebody may be expert in cupboard. Somebody may be expert in altar making. But if somebody knows that the cause of all these elements is something called wood, then he knows everything. He knows cupboard. He knows this. He knows the table. Correct. So there is the common sense. This is lacking in the material education because material education focuses Jai Shri Shri Radha Madan Mohan. So once you know this, you know this common cause of everything, then you are completely satisfied because what else is left to be seen? What else is left to be heard? Right? By seeing this one thing, everything is seen. Tell me, if you see the Rig Veda mantra, Om Tat Vishnu Paramam Padam Sadha Pashyanti Suraya Diva Chakshuratatam Tad Vipraso Vipanyamo Jagrivam Savimsate Vishnuriyat Padamam Padam. So Sadha Pashyanti Suraya. This Suraya is who? The demigods. All these demigods. They are Sadha Pashyanti. How can I see something for 24 hours? I mean, if I see something, why we are so attracted to the phone or the apps? Because we are seeing something, everything different every time. After we scroll every short thread, something different comes, right? So we sort of try to gather newer tastes in material pleasure. But after 2 hours, tell me who is happy scrolling that much? You get depressed only. If something you're scrolling, you will feel happy, right? Why you're not feeling happy scrolling? Because anything material will lead to Bhagavad Gita. यही संपर्श जाप होगा दुख योन्य एवते आदि अंतवंत कौंतेय नातेषु रमते बुधः. This material pleasure is like this. 522 is it? Yes, 522. An intelligent person does not take part in the source of misery which are due to contact with material senses. So, son of Kunti, such pleasure have the beginning and an end, and so the wise man does not delight in them. So when you begin scrolling on your phone, it comes with happiness. As you keep scrolling towards the end, you are getting, every scroll gives you even more greater displeasure, right? And because every time the thought is coming, I'm wasting time. I have not achieved anything useful in my life. But similarly, how come Sadha Pashyanti Surayaha, the demigods can continuously see the Lord and don't feel this feeling of getting displeasure or bored? Because the Lord is the source of all supreme pleasure. His pleasure that the Lord gives you is beyond this material contact of happiness and distress. Because when happiness is born in this material world, it automatically produces in its womb the child of distress. It's always changing, always flickering. Which is why our Chitraketu, he says, Guna Prabhavitasmin Dasapako Manugraha Asarva Narakatova Kim Sukam Dukam Evava. This material world resembles the waves of constantly flowing river. So everything is up. River sometimes goes up, goes down. Correct? Our health goes up, goes down. Our finance goes up, goes down. Our relationships goes up, goes down. Nothing is stable here. Material nature. Right? Therefore, and we are trying to find stability in an unstable world. What stability you will find in this kind of constant waves of the river? Tell me. What stability can be found? Right? Therefore, what is a curse? What is a favor? So just now we saw in the verse, what is Vishnu is the cause of all auspicious inauspiciousness, right? So for devotee, he doesn't care about inauspiciousness or auspiciousness, because everything is resting on the Lord. In today's verse also we say, everything matta paratanam nani kinchit ansti jananjaya sutre manigana eva, everything is resting on me. So even inauspiciousness is within the Lord only, right? So what is there to worry about? In fact, Kunti Devi is saying is the back of the Lord. So if something is the back of the Lord or the front of the Lord, is the same thing. So devotees are not bothered whether there's a curse or a favor. Like King Indradyumna, he was cursed by Agastya to become an elephant, Gajendra. But he handled it very nicely. He was not disturbed by that curse. Neither he was getting angry with the Lord, because he is not doing something wrong. He is worshipping the Lord and he got distracted. I mean, he was so not distracted. He got so absorbed in the service of the Lord, he could not identify Agastya Rishi coming to see him, right? So is anything his fault here? Nothing his fault. And even though he was cursed, he did not become unfavorable to the Lord. He took it as Tatenu Kampa Su Samikshamana. He saw Su Samiksha, he analyzed the situation and took it as a mercy of the Lord. So even though materially inauspiciousness may come, the devotee don't find it inauspicious because it helps you to get more intense in your devotional service. So when he became an elephant, yes, he became elephant, he became distracted, but in the end he remembered the prayers that he was offering to the Lord and he chanted the name Sarvasya Chaham Riddhi Sanni Vishto Matas Prati Jnanam Apohanam Cha. The Lord gave memory from within so that he can remember the Lord. So if there's remembrance of the Lord, what is that verse? 236 forward. Sahanishtan Chantan Mahachitram Samoha Sacha Vipramaha Yan Muhurtam Shanam Vapi Vasudeva Anuchintai. So the Lord, for a devotee, if one Muhurta or one Shana, 1 millisecond also, if they forget the Lord, that they find as inauspiciousness, not material inauspiciousness. Right? So here, again, Chitraketu also got cursed by Parvati. Indradyumna also got cursed by Agastya Rishi. He's asking, what is a curse? Ka sapa, right? Ka sapa ko no anugraha. Even if there's mercy, even there is anugraha, favor. What is the use of that? What is the use of this? What are heavenly planets? What are hellish planets? What's the point going to heaven or even going to hell? Hell also no problem. If you see the story of Janaka Maharaj, he went to hell actually. In Padma Puran it said, because he's going towards Vaikunta, he's going to Ayodhya, the spiritual kingdom of Ayodhya. On the way, he was going by hell and he saw the suffering of the people there. He decided to stay there to help them. So when he entered hell, the wind that touched his body relieved all the people in the hellish planet. And they prayed to him, my dear Janaka Maharaj, please, you stay here because you're here, we are feeling relief. And he, being a pure devotee, he says, okay, I'll stay here. So for a devotee, even hell also can become Ayodhya. Then Yamaraj says, Yamaraj told to him, why are you here? You should go back. These people are so sinful, let them suffer. Then he said, no, if they are suffering, their suffering is my suffering. I will stay here and help them. Then Yamaraj said, okay, you help them. Then he started preaching to them. He said, you chant the name of Ram. And he gave them all the name of Ram and all of them chanted. And he said, I gave you my punya also. You see the association of pure devotee. Even in hell, that association can save. Then all of them in hell were delivered. And Yamaraj had no job after that for a while. So this is the power of pure devotee. So what is actually happiness and what is actually distress? Because the waves constantly follow, none of them have an eternal effect. So whenever people come to meet astrology, they want to know this point: when the happiness will come, when the distress will go. Because everyone is so motivated to search for two things: how distress can go, and in the absence of distress, how I can attain happiness. These two questions only everybody has. So we go astrologer to ask this, when this time will come. Right? But for a devotee, Bhukti Mukti Siddhi Kami Sakale Shanta Krishna Bhakta Nishkama Ateva Shanta. Devotee is peaceful because he has no desire. Not only desire for material things, but he has no desire even to conquer this happiness and distress, this duality. Or he doesn't bother about this. So when distress comes, he don't care. Happiness comes also, he don't care. That's why he's very peaceful in any situation. Whereas the other three, the jnanis, the karmis, the yogis, they are not peaceful because they're trying hard to get rid of distress. Correct? Karmis are trying to get rid of distress to attain heavenly planets. Jnanis are trying to get rid of distress of this material universe to go and merge into Brahman. Yogis also wanting to get rid of distress to attain mystic power. But devotee not interested even in getting rid of the distress. So this is how the pure devotee is. So the Lakshadweepa residents, they understand that the Lord is the only common cause behind everything. It is said in this verse. Let me take out this verse. Yatra nanyat pashyanti, nanyat shrunoti, nanyat vijananti, sa bhumatah. Chandogya Upanishad says. Because they understand nanyat pashyanti. What? If you have seen this thing, everything is seen. Nanyat shrunoti. If you heard this thing, everything is heard. Nanyat vijananti. If you know this knowledge about this Brahman, sa bhumatah. Everything is known. Everything experienced. You have experienced this, everything experienced. So coming back to the same point. So when they know this, what they exactly do is they take shelter of that Supreme Lord, that is Vishnu, that is Krishna. So you see here, Ka Panditas Tvad Aparam Saranam Samiyat. Sharanam, they take shelter. Bhakta Priya Kritagheera Suhirda Kritagya. Sarvadhati Suhirdo Bhajato Vikaman Atmanam Api Upachaya Nayasya says, what learned person would approach anyone but you for shelter? So if you know that this is the supreme shelter, the common cause of everything, then why you would go to anything else? If you have connection with the president, then why you will waste your time going to any other secretary or ministers for help? So you take shelter of this. This is called Sharanagati. You understand there is no one else but the Lord who can save me. Exactly what happened in Gajendra Leela. He tried everything for thousands of years, and finally he understood he cannot protect himself. Neither his friends can protect him. No one can protect him. Then he understood Vatsalyadabhaya Pradana Samayat Artharthi Nirvapanad Avdharya Agasoshanad Aganita Shreya Pada Prapanad Sevya Sripatir Eka Eva Jagatam Ete Cha Sat Shakshinad Praladascha Vibhishanascha Karirat Panchali Ahalya Dhruva. These 6 pure devotees, they are giving us lessons on who we should take shelter of. Eke Chat Shakshina. So these who are the 6 devotees. Prahlada, this is Padyavali verse. I forgot what number. So Prahlada, Vibhishana, Gajendra, Panchali, Draupadi, Ahalya, Dhruva. All of them have taken exclusive shelter of the Lord. They did not waste their time. So Padyavali 5, this is the verse, you can take note. So what learned person would approach anyone but you for shelter when you are the affectionate, grateful, and truthful well-wisher of your devotees? Who can be that kind of affection, right? Who is so grateful? You tell me. We are Krishna. Krishna is so grateful for Putana for even giving poison like a mother. Who will have that kind of gratefulness? You tell me. Bhakta. Padhyam Bhakta Hridistabhyam Mandabhyam Lokavardite Angam Yasya Samakramyam Bhagavan api stastanam Yatu Dani api sasvargam Avapa Janani Gatim Krishna Bhukta Stanam Shira Kimmu Gavon Matara. So Padhyam Bhakta Hridistabhyam Mandabhyam Lokavandite. What it means? This is spoken in the 10th canto. The Lord, the devotees, Padhyam Bhakta Hridistabhyam. The Lord's lotus feet is very much well established in the heart of the pure devotees. If you see the pure devotee heart, just like Hanuman, he opened the heart, Sri Ram and Sita was staying there. So the Lord's lotus feet is in the heart. Mandabhyam Lokavandite. All the pure devotees, even Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma, they all worship this lotus feet of the Lord. You know, they take shelter of this Lord. Angam Yasya Samakramyam Bhagavan api statstanam. But what happened? That Supreme Lord, he caught hold of the body of Putana. He caught hold of her breast. Yatudani api saswaram kimnu gavanu matara. So he took he grabbed her breast and he sucked the milk, poison milk from her, and he gave her position of mother. Api saswargam. He gave her position of mother in the heavenly in the spiritual world. If the Lord can do that, what about the cows who are giving milk out of so much love? If a person come to give milk out of poison, is getting that benediction. What about the cows? Krishna Bhukta Sanam Shira, Kimnu Ghavo Nu Matara, the cows. What to say about the cows? What to say about Mother Yashoda? Right? So this is the gratefulness of the Lord. We can see. He's so affectionate. Vatsalyat Abhaya Pradana Samayat. He's so affectionate to his devotee like mother cow, taking care of the calf. He's so grateful. The example of Putana was given to the true well-wisher of the devotees. And to those who worship him in sincere friendship, you reward everything they desire. If you worship him as a friend, like Sudhama, everything was provided by him. Even your own self. Yet you never increase or diminish. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate. By Krishna, by giving you something, he don't diminish. Right? So this is what the pure devotees are. So no, they will not take shelter of anything else. Nate na purushotame trijagatam ekadipe chetasam sevye swasya padasya dankari pare narayane tishyate yem kanchit purushatama katipaye grameshamalpartadam sevaye mrigayamaye naramaho mudavarakavayam. Mukunda Mala Kulashekara, he says, Nate na Purushottame Trijagatam. You are the Supreme Lord who rules these three worlds, unlimited universes. Ekadipe Chetasam. You alone should be taken shelter of, you alone should be worshipped. Sevye Swasya Padasya Dhatari Pare. Narayane Tishyati. By giving some small devotional service unto you, you give your shelter very easily. You give us a home in the spiritual world, Vaikuntha. Yam kanchit purushatama katipaye gramesham alpartadam. But we are so alpa. We are after small service. Instead of serving the Supreme Lord of everything, we went to go to the office and serve all these minute small bosses. These village gramya, these village heads. We are begging them, please sir, give me your salary, please sir, please help me, save me. But the Lord is giving Vaikuntha like that. We don't want. What kind of fool? Mudha, Varaka, Vayam. What kind of fool we are? That's what Kulashekara Alvar is saying. So much free sitting in Vaikuntha, unlimited seats. But we are competing to get that one seat of Indra. In Tamil, they say Indra Padavi. Right? We want to become the sun god. We want to become moon god. We want to enjoy it. What only one position is there. And how much stress to get that one position? You know why the stress is there, right? Because the competition you're fighting for in the material world is limited. But that unlimited sitting, that one nobody wants to have competition. Like Duryodhana. He wants so much competition to get the property of his property and wealth of the Pandavas. But you know, Pandavas, when they were in the jungle or anytime when they were in the forest or anytime, they were always in competition, so much competition to hear from the sadhus. Always sadhus are visiting them, giving them instructions. But that competition, Duryodhana don't want to participate. When sadhu comes, he don't want to hear what they say. In fact, he will criticize them and they will curse him. You see, the thing is, in the 12 years, two things happened. They were in the forest, these people were in the kingdom. Both people are visited by the same sadhus. But Pandavas got the supreme benefit from the sadhus and they learned to become, they were already Raja Rishis, they became even greater Raja Rishis. So one side they were collecting blessings. On the other side, this Duryodhana was collecting curses. Every time the sadhus came and advised him, every time Bhishma, Maitreya Rishi, Samanaka Rishi, Sanad, so many people came. Vyasadev, so many times Vyasadev came and he will tell them to shut up. So here they were collecting blessings, here they were collecting curses. In fact, we are saying, oh, Bhima cheated and hit him below the thigh. Actually, yes, Bhima said that I will break his thigh. Bhima took a vow. But Maitreya Rishi also cursed him that you will die by the broken thigh. Bhima will break your thigh and you will die like that. Because Maitreya Rishi gave instruction and said, he told the Dhritarashtra everything. If you don't listen, if you don't give back the kingdom, there will be great destruction. Then he said, no, that we cannot do. And then Duryodhana started to criticize Maitreya Rishi because he was praising the strength of the Pandavas. And Maitreya Rishi cursed him and said, I curse you that Bhima will break your thigh. So it is inevitable. If a Brahmana has curse, it's inevitable to happen. Right? So Bhima was empowered by the curse of also Maitreya. And then Dhritarashtra told him, please take away the curse, I'll do anything. He said, okay, then give back the kingdom. This one I cannot do. He said, if time is there, providence is there, everything written in forehead. It is, we are getting the kingdom like that. You know, when all the bad things was happening and the kingdom was being taken away, this is only one thing Dhritarashtra will tell to Vyasadeva will come and say, providence. If providence is there, destiny is there, who can control destiny? Basically, he's saying by destiny, I am stealing the property. When the war was finished, everyone was killed, and he's crying. Right? Vyasadeva is asking him. He's telling Vyasadeva, everything is gone. Vyasadeva said, providence. Who can control? Who can control destiny? This guy is telling whole life is telling this providence dialogue. When his son died, he cannot remember that his own dialogue, right? So this is how. I mean, I think the title of the class was supposed to be Sun God. I don't know where I went. Just talking about the Plakshadweep, the mentality of the Plakshadweep people. They understand the cause of all causes. They are not like the Kauravas. They understand that they have to take shelter of the Lord. Okay, so now we will just talk about the Sun God. So regarding the Sun God, we have to understand. Actually, I always wonder this thing: why the Sun God is not the natural king of the heaven? Why Indra? Because you see, Sun God is naturally very. He's different from other demigods. Actually, if you think about it, he is almost an expansion, direct expansion of the Lord. If you think every culture, also the Egyptian culture, and the Greek culture, everyone has a worship of Sun God, right? Vedic culture, even Radharani herself used to worship the Sun God, right? What is the place she worshipped, bro? Radharani, there's a lake, right? Suryakund. Suryakund, Radharani also worships. Even when we chant the Gayatri mantra, right? That that mantra also is connected to the Sun God, the first mantra, because he's the light. Without light, nothing can be seen, right? But we have to understand who is the source of that light. If you go to the simple verse in Bhagavad Gita also, Krishna again says, Adityanam aham Vishnu, Jyotisham Ravir, Amsumam, Marichi, Marutam Asmi, Nakshatranam aham Shashi. Of Adityas I am Vishnu, of lights I am the radiant sun. So you see, Krishna said, that sun is coming, the energy of the sun is mine. Of Maruts I am Marichi, among stars I am the moon. So that's why whenever we see the Devata of sun, we chant the mantra of Brahma Samhita, right? Yachak Suresha Savita Sakala Grahana Raja Samasta Suramurti Asesha Teja Yashagniya Brahmati Samvrata Kala Chakro Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. So this is the power of. So this is how we can remember the Supreme Lord by seeing the sun itself. And also, if you see in the third canto, Vidura is speaking to Maitreya. This verse was also spoken about the sun. O Vidura, the sun enlivens all living entities with its unlimited heat and light. So, what is the quality of the sun? There's heat, there's light. We cannot survive without heat, we cannot survive without light. The sun is the cause of the life that comes from in this material world, actually. Yeah. Even all the scientists agree to this. Without the sun, how you can have any crops? Can possible? You cannot eat. You cannot have any food also. And of course, the moon also is very important for the crops because at night the moon nourishes all the plants. So he diminishes the duration of life of all living entities in order to release them from the illusion of material attachment. And he enlarges the path of elevation to the heavenly kingdom. He thus moves in a firmament with great velocity, and therefore everyone should offer him respect one every 5 years with all ingredients of worship. So this is the Surya Puja which they do once every 5 years. I don't know why 5 years, but there must be some astronomical calculation for that. In fact, even the great devotee, Bharat Maharaj, he was worshipping the sun as Surya Narayan. If you go to the verse here. See, so see, this is a verse. Bharat Maharaj appeared very beautiful after he renounced the kingdom. He had wealth of curly hair on his head, which was wet from bathing 3 times daily. He dressed in deer skin. He worshipped Lord Narayana, whose body was composed of golden effulgence. So this is Surya Narayana. So within the sun, also the Lord Surya Narayana. You see, any planet can fail. You think about it, but the sun cannot come rise up late. So I guess maybe the Lord wants to do. He understand. I also need to be, empowering the sun so much by my effulgence to do the work. Huh? 10 minutes later. Oh, is it? Oh, you're talking about that, Nitin. Yeah, I thought about Nitin. Okay, that is not relevant. So the body, whose body was composed of golden effulgence, who resided within the sun. So you see, you understand here. He worshipped Lord Narayana, whose body was composed of golden effulgence, who resided within the sun. So we have the Vivaswan. We have Vivaswan there, who is the sun god, who is empowered to do the duty of the sun. But from this verse, you can understand the Lord Narayana himself is also present within the sun. So when many people are foolishly saying, "Show me God," this is one. You every day you're seeing God in the sun. The Lord is coming. How foolish we are. Every day you're seeing that, and then you're saying, "Show me God," and the God is there in front of you every day, helping you seeing, and then you're asking, "Where is God?" How foolish that is. How foolish we are. It's like the one picture, one meme. I mean, one cartoon picture I saw. All the fleas are on the body of the dog, and resting on the dog, eating the flesh of the dog, and then asking, "There is no such thing as dog," and telling there's no such thing as dog. So for the fleas is the dog, for us is God. We are all resting on God. Everything is within the effulgence, especially with the sun's effulgence. It produces everything. We're all resting within the sun's effulgence, actually. Right? Even though the sun, Maya Tata Vedam Sarvam, Jagat Abhyakta Murtina. The sun is there, but his effulgence is all over. Similarly, Krishna is one place, Ekadesha Sita Shrakner Yoshna, right? So, but his effulgence is everywhere. And we are telling we are seeing the effulgence, we're dealing with the effulgence, but we are telling the person don't exist. But Maharaj Bharat was not like that. So Maharaj Bharat worshipped the Lord Narayana by chanting hymns given in Rig Veda, and he recited the following verse as the sun rose. So he's worshipping Narayana within the sun. So we see this very nice purport. He said the predominating deity within the sun is Hiranmaya, Lord Narayana. He is worshipped by the Gayatri Mantra, Om Bhurguvasvat Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi. By right, we cannot chant this mantra unless we are initiated. We cannot take the Pranava mantra. But if you go to any shops, you'll hear the song Om Bhurguvasvat. Everywhere you'll be hearing. Yeah. So he is also worshipped by other hymns mentioned in the Rig. For instance, Dheya, Sada, Savitra Mandala, Madhyavarti. This is the mantra for the sun god. Within the sun, Lord Narayana is situated and he has golden hue. So this sun god is also, when Yudhishthira was very upset, in the forest, Yudhishthira Maharaj was very upset that he could not, he was upset that the money was lost or wealth was lost. He was upset that there were so many rishis around him. In fact, Saunak Rishi is one of the first few people who came with his 60,000 disciples. And he told that, "I feel sad that I cannot provide for you." And Saunak Rishi told something very interesting. He said, "I'm not here for your money. When I was there with you in the kingdom, I was there because you had dharma. When I'm with you in the forest, because the same dharma is with you. I'm after your dharma, not after your wealth. I'm not there to eat free food from you. In fact, we are rishis. We are doing tapasya only. Why we need food also?" He said, "But I am grahastha. I am kshatriya. I'm supposed to take care of yours. I'm not worried money is lost. So I need some way to feed the brahmanas. What to do?" And then Dhaumya Rishi came. Dhaumya Rishi gave him the 108 Surya Ashtotara Satanamavati, 108 names of Surya Bhagavan. And then they chanted this mantra. 108 times. Of course, the Falashruti in the Mahabharata says if you chant this, the money will flow. But devotees, we don't do that. We don't worship the sun. We worship the Lord directly, and we take exclusive shelter of the Lord, and Lord will decide. So the sun god came and gave Akshay Patra, and that Akshay Patra allowed them to feed everyone until Draupadi has eaten the last grain. Yeah. So the Lord, the sun. So yeah. So this is the one of the verses regarding how the sun god is within the sun planet itself. So another verse, another powerful verse is there. You see here, 12, 11, 30. एक एव हि लोकानां सूर्य आत्मादिकृत दहि सर्वभेद क्रिय मूलम ऋषिभेद बहुधोदितः. Sun god being not different from Lord Hari, right? So because he's actually very much greatly empowered by the Lord. I would say even more than any of the demigods. He's one soul of all world and original creator. So the original creator, that creation that happens in material by the sun only, by the sun rays. He is the source of all ritualistic activities prescribed in Vedas, has been given many names by Vedic sages. Yeah. So this is the sun god. And I think it said that the sun god worship is also in the mode of, is it goodness? Yeah. So like that only, we see how, wait, there's another verse I want to show. In the purport of this verse. Actually, we finished this verse, right? Yeah, we finished this verse about the sun also. Yesterday only, right? There's this verse, Chandrama Manaso Jata Chakshur Shurya Jayata. So the verse from the Upanishads, the Vedas, actually. So it says that demigod moon Chandra came from the mind of Narayana. The sun god came from his eyes. The controlling deities of hearing and life came from Narayana. And the controlling deity of fire generated from his horn. Prajapati, Lord Brahma from Narayana. Indra came from Narayana. 8 Vasus and 11 expansion of Lord Shiva, the 12 Adityas also came from Narayana. In Smriti, Vedic literature. So this is how the sun coming from the eyes. The Prabhupada says in the lecture, right? If unless Krishna sees, you cannot see. So Krishna, when the sun rising, the Lord is seeing. By He's seeing, you are seeing. So actually, the sun also he's the son of. If you see the Puranas, he's the son of Aditi, right? And Kasyapa. It's quite a long story actually, but I don't remember many of the points. I just know that he has many children like Yamaraj, Yamuna Devi. The river Yamuna is also his daughter. Saturn, Sunny. Sunny is also his son. Yeah, the Ashwini Kumars, the twins, they are also his sons. Yeah, so very powerful deity, demigod. But we have to understand again that he is not independent, and he is the empower expansion of the Lord, right? You see, just now we were talking about that Lord who is the common cause of everything. When you say he is the common cause of everything, you must understand that he is also not dependent on anything. You understand? How do we know that we are not supreme? Very simple. Are you dependent on anything? Everyone, if you analyze our life, everything is dependent on something. And if you go back, if you go to this explanation by Srila Prabhupada, in this verse purport, you see here, the individual living entity are completely dependent on the total energy of the Supreme Purusha. No one has independent existence, just as no electric lamp has independent effulgence. So the lamp, you see, Does he have independent effulgence? No. Each and every electrical instrument depends fully on the total powerhouse. Power is dependent on the powerhouse, and the total powerhouse depend on the reservoir of water for generating. So water, the dam. Water depends on clouds, right? How the water is coming. Clouds depend on the sun. See, ultimate dependence come to the sun, and now even the sun depends on the creation, and the creation depends on the movement of the Supreme Lord. So the sun himself, even though is a great, powerful creator of everything, he himself has a dependent source. So that independent source of everything is Krishna. When you trace back everything, this is dependent on this, this is dependent on this, this is dependent on this, you will come to a source where that from that source he is not depending on anyone. He is independent of everything. That is the supreme. That's why it says that the first verse of Bhagavatam, right? Janmadasya yataha anvayaditartasya avikya swarat. He is independent. Tene brahma hridayadikave yatti yatsvare. Everything is coming from the Lord. And if you see this verse, Damna Damna Svena Sadha Nirasta Kuhakam Satyam Param Dhimai. So this is the so what is Damna? Along with transcendental paraphernalia Svena, self-sufficient. So everything is within the Lord. Sadha Nirasta Kuhakam. He's free, always free from this illusion. Satyam Param Dhimai. This is the last word. Only because of him do material universes temporarily manifested by the reaction of three modes appear actually factual, although they are unreal. I therefore meditate upon Lord Sri Krishna, who is the eternal existence in transcendental abode, which is forever free from the illusory representation of the material world. The material nature cannot touch the Lord. Dhamna Svena Sadha Nirasta Sadha Nirasta, always cannot touch the Lord. So even though this great material expansion is coming from the Lord, the sun, the moon, everything, he is still detached from it. Okay, so we have to meditate upon him, the absolute truth, Satyam Param Dhimai. Then we will understand the real purpose, meaning, goal of life. If not, we'll be trapped with all these temporary goals and purposes. And okay, so I guess that's what I wanted to cover. Just let me check anything else. Okay, that's all to say. Any questions? Yeah. Hmm. Yes. Yeah. 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 Every part of our body is it's actually they are like a minute form of the Virat Purusha actually. The Virat Purusha, he says his hands are everywhere, eyes are everywhere. We are also part of the hands and eyes. You understand? Not only he showed his hands and eyes everywhere, even we, the material body, because all is functioning on resting on him. Like they say, Indra is controlling the hands. So if the hands not working, then there is also Devi Adi Devi Klesha is coming. Right? Hmm. Yeah, yeah. Everybody we offer. We go to the Ganga, offer the Ganga water to the sun also. Yes, yes. I'm not sure why 5 years. But there must be some astronomical reason. So, any other question? Hmm. Just the astronomical movement of the sun. Yeah, because it's moving, right? The sun's movement. Yeah, I do not explain that. I do not explain astronomically, but yeah, yeah. Yeah. So there's a vertical movement of the sun. That one is, yeah, yeah. It's based on the sun movement actually, but it's all technical astronomy. This to yeah, how they attend Brahma Murta, because they experience only few hours of darkness, like Finland. Yeah, you just have to wake up. Yeah. Okay, so we'll stop here then. Jaya Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam. Jai Srila Prabhupada.